Yo, Frank. I got your package returned to me. What's up, Brian? AJ? I have returned, and I have a air compressor that doesn't work. Thanks, Morgan. What's APB mean? Stuck in the mud at Burning Man. Yeah, me and Oliver Anthony hiding out. Hey, wasn't that good? Yeah, I'm trying to all points bulletin. Never heard of that. Never heard of that. But I'm back. Burns. It was tough. So I went to the Upper Chesapeake, and who I went with will remain a mystery because I was asked to keep it a mystery. Uh, so unfortunately, I thought I would be able to share that, but I wasn't. But um, I went to the Upper Chesapeake. It was uh, it was pretty cool to see other tidal water that had fish in it. Uh, Caught one 4 to 5 range. I caught one in the heavy 3 to 4 range. A few small ones, but apparently, if you want to go up there when it's the worst, that this weekend would probably be uh, the choice. If you wanted miserable fishing, now is the time. But what was interesting about it, which made me glad I went up there now, is because if I go back and look at the open they had up there, it's the exact same time of year last year. So I can see what those guys did and see how they caught fish and like see the conditions and like how it fishes and compare to what we did. Um, but what's up, Bob? Tom? Um, so yeah, now my air compressor doesn't want to turn off. See what this is all about. Which it's been running like poo poo for months. The the pressure valve uh, and the check valve and all that kind of stuff has never worked. When what it does is it'll get to pressure and then it'll start like I don't know what it does. Like when it goes to fill the tank, the check valve pops, and I usually kick it. I'll kick it with my foot on top of it, and it'll like stop whatever it's doing and go back to filling the tank. So I guess it's time to finally fix the problem. You've never heard of APB because the popo has never been searching for you. You're correct. Uh, David, what's up? Thank you. The toughest time of year for Boji, hoping to break 20. I'm sure it's miserable up there that there's only a 4 pound average, but hopefully you get the job done at the mercy of your boater. Hopefully you're blessed with a friendly friendly, dumb boater that is around lots of fish that doesn't necessarily know how to catch them. Thanks, Joseph. Had the birthday yesterday. Uh, had some Maryland crab cakes. They were pretty good. Uh, at a couple different places. Uh, the guy who I'm fishing, you're guaranteed to fish with this guy, AJ. Like in competition, that'll be good. At least he knows what's going. At least you know the guy has potential to catch 26 pounds. Like, not everybody that fishes is capable of that. Ooh, a team deal. So you're not you. It's cumulative weight. Nasty Nate, what's up? I'm just trying to get my. I'm unhooking all these wires, not knowing where they go back together. We'll figure it out. Kim was jealous that you had crab cakes. I did, Burns. I will say we had some pretty good ones, supposedly. She's not missing much. Unpopular opinion. Uh, we had some very high ranking crab cakes. I don't know that I would order them again. They didn't they didn't they didn't blow my skirt up. They were good. They were good. Like I said, I wouldn't hop on a plane to go eat them again. Daryl, no. I was pretty sick. I will say that. And it was lingering. It would not leave. What was weird about whatever I had, they said it wasn't COVID, and they said it wasn't the flu, and they said it wasn't uh, all these things. I was like, well, what is it? And they're like, something. It's like, okay. So, but like the first day, I was like when I had COVID, I came to work and I worked. Like I felt like shit, but I worked. Um, whatever I had, like when I woke up, I was like, I'm not getting out of bed. And then the next day, I was like, oh, I feel good enough to get out of bed. So I like got out and came to the shop and dicked around, worked on the truck out back a little bit. But I never felt good enough to paint. Uh, like I could go out there and work on the truck where it was like mindless, but I realized that painting required a lot more of my mental capacity than I thought it did. Uh, so, and I really didn't think that, but like mentally, I wasn't like sharp enough, or like I don't know. I just didn't have it in me to like sit down and like think hard, which I didn't realize that painting was doing that to my brain. But I was like, all right, I really can't paint. Like physically, I could have, but mentally, I couldn't. And then the day I got up, I felt good. The next day, felt like death. Didn't get out of bed. Next day, felt pretty good. Got up, moved around, came up here, did some shit. Still didn't feel like acute enough. I guess they call it fog. Uh, and um, came up here and dipped around on the truck, and then like felt like crap again. Then I started feeling good. I was like, all right, I feel better. And then I got this cough like a day after I felt good, and I just started coughing. It was really annoying, and that lasted like 2 days. And then finally, like the day I left, I'd like quit coughing locally. Luckily, I didn't have to sit on an airplane and like hack on people. But yeah, it was pretty miserable. So I mean, it damn took 2 weeks for me to get over this shit. Um, Frank, yes, apparently my whatever I declared on there was not accurate enough for them. Raw throat? No, not my throat never hurt. Um, just a tickle. Uh, yeah, apparently I put something that they didn't like on the declaration, so I had to redo it and I had to buy new postage. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me update the existing postage or void it. So I had to buy uh, $60 in shipping to Canada uh, for, for those. Um, Daryl, you got the same kind of stuff? Yeah, I had a fever for like 4 days. It wasn't a high fever, but it was like 100, enough to make you feel like shit, but not terrible. Um, it was weird. It was weird. Have you tried a Tokyo rig, Darius, with a trick worm on it? Well, Daryl, I can't give any tips or tricks on how to feel better. I think you just gotta wait it out, rest. Um, so I don't know. I tried to drink some liquids, and then Amy was like, we were in the gas station, and she was like, "Oh, here's that thing. Here's what I've been giving you for electrolytes." And I was like, "What is it?" And it was that Jake Paul drink. And I was like, "Dude, don't buy those losers drink." She's like, "That's what I've been giving you in the morning." I was like, she's like, "Who?" I was like, "Jake Paul." It's like the little fake fighter dudes. It was like YouTube. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know they had a drink. Prime, I think it's called." And I was like, "Yeah, Prime. Yeah." She was pumping me full of Prime, and I didn't know it. I was like, I rather drink water. Oh no. Oh no. Not good. What size is this? So I will say their bomb. the, the Paul brothers cured me. Yes, they were the cure all. The Paul brothers. Freaking losers. Oh, praise be Paula. So yeah, I guess that is the. If you want to know how to get over the mystery flu, drink Prime. The Pauls will save you. The Paul Bros will save you. I'll be on their. I'll be on their new commercial. Couldn't get out of bed for 4 days. I drank a Prime. Ran a triathlon the next day. They're so douchey though. Who does this? Who engineers this stuff? You can't even get a screwdriver in here. You need like a mini one. You need a mini screwdriver. Um, but if anybody's curious about the, I think Logan and Jake are both douches. I don't care for either one of them. The douche is super strong in those bros. Like, if that's what it takes to be famous, I don't ever want to be famous. Not that I would ever be famous anyway, but now I know why. Now I know why some people aren't cut out for it. Doesn't that shit have 200 grams of caffeine? I don't know, Chris. I didn't read the package. I was just getting fed it. So it very well may. It very well may. I'm gonna do this. I need like I need like one of these with a wobbler on it. I am famous on Tacklecraft YouTube channel. Jake has changed since he got into the boxing scene. You like Jake now that he's boxing? Um, I broke out a Ned yesterday. It was so bad I didn't even get a tick on it. That is bad. That is bad. I've been drop shining in Tokyo rigging lately. I will tell you something about the Upper Bay that I thought was I had a misconception of, and that was water clarity. The water clarity up there, like we were sitting on some weeds, like a weed edge, and it was I think it was the boat was sitting in like 5 feet of water, and I looked down and I saw sand mixed in with the grass and like little pebbles and stuff, and I was like, uh, "Is that the bottom?" It was like, "Yeah." Like y'all have like 6 feet of visibility. It was like, "Yeah, it's pretty clear." It's like, "Oh, I didn't. I never would have expected it to get that clear here." And it was funny. We ran some areas that were dirty, and he's like, "Oh, this shit is. I don't know if we're gonna get a bite in here. It's really muddy." And I looked at it and I was like, "Dude, this water looks great." Like if I came in here personally and looked at the water, I was like, "Oh, where can I find more of this?" And that's where I caught the biggest fish that I caught was in there in the mud. So it had to take me to the mud for me to get bit. Um, but I caught some fish out in the clear. Caught a few cranking. That's about it. Cranking, jigs, normal stuff. Beautiful, fragrant turquoise water of the north. Yeah, it was very, very clear. And for tidal, and when the tide started going out hard, it got a little color to it, but not still that much. Like I think it was more wind than anything. Tyler, no shrimp migration. Are y'all covered up in shrimp? No burns, not our cranks. I didn't take any cranks. I took like I took a couple spinner baits, and I didn't take anything with treble hooks. Um, I took a couple chatter baits, some frogs, uh, and like 3 spinner baits. Um, so I don't know what's wrong with this. I do need to get that one tricky little nut out though. I need one of these that isn't that I can bend. I can sit on one spot and catch all 3 species. Yeah, the shrimp, from what I understand, are pretty heavy right now down here. I've been out of the game so long that like a month ago we were like getting fired up. We're like, oh yeah, the shrimp are coming because you started seeing shrimp boats like on the causeway, and so when you start seeing the shrimp boats, those guys are relying on them to make their living. So they're not dicking around up there for no reason. So when we started seeing them show up, it's like, all right, it's starting to happen. And then a month goes by, and it's like, oh, I don't even know what's going on. Um, uh, Correct, Burns. Correct. No, Burns. He didn't have hardly any. The box was full of rust and shitty baits. It was quite pathetic. It's not his strong suit in the least. Upper Chesapeake, South J. I was up there near you. I was probably an hour away from you. Um, Catching some on a crankbait when I go out by myself, but I can't do it when I'm out with my friend. Tom, were you the one that was in search of that mystery bandit? Are you still throwing that? Uh, Hell, I packed much lighter, very light. I was only there for a day, so I didn't need that much anyway. Yeah, there was two big ones caught. There was two big ones caught. Let's see if I can show my fish without revealing too much. There you go. There you can see the chocolate water. Can't show the power poles because they're a giveaway. Um, but it was fun. It was cool. Very top secret. Very top secret. Does this have air in it? I hope not. All right. So when I talked to the California Air Tools people, um, I told them what was going on, and they were like, "Have you ever cleaned your air compressor?" I was like, what? And they're like, "Clean? It sounds dirty." It's pretty dirty. I'm like, yeah, you should try cleaning it. Uh, so they might be right. They might be on to something. I did laugh at him. I said, no, no, I haven't cleaned it, sir. I'll look into that though. Um, my old Craftsman didn't need cleaning either. Um, my old Craftsman was also not an electric motor; it was an oiled motor. So eventually, it came apart and started blowing oil into my airline that no oil, water, moisture, any kind of trap could collect because it was in such volume. So I had to retire that. That was the air compressor I started on. Was that Craftsman, and it was good. I took it to Austin, and it lasted me all the way until um, I got back home. I got this when I moved home. Um, no, the compressor guy is not a camper. Uh, I do miss Sears Burns because Sears had my favorite battery of all time, the Die Hard Platinum. It's like a Group 34 cranking battery. It was expensive, but that thing would last an eternity. An eternity. I think I had. I think I had a that Die Hard, the last one I had. I didn't buy another one because they're so damn expensive. But I think I had it for like 6 years or something, which is unheard of for me. That's like me. That's like me saying I had an airbrush for 6 years. Um, 20-gallon tank. That's a big one, Burns. That's big. I think this one's 10. I don't know. If I didn't have so much dirt and debris and shit on it, I could probably tell you what size it is. 4610. I'm guessing a 4610. Uh, the 10 maybe is the gallons. I think it's 2 5s, 2 5-gallon tanks. But it's pretty good. I mean, kinda. It's okay. I think it's a 10. Um, but apparently, it doesn't like being dirty. I should ask California Air Tools for a sponsorship. They might not they might not like me. Let's look up California Air Tools on the gram. They have 1,000 followers and 667 posts. Looks like they don't post a whole lot. Probably as much as I do. Uh, they don't get much. They don't get much interaction. They got 4 likes, but I will say an air compressor page is pretty boring. So they need to do something better. Not much going on at California Air Tools. You can do a DIY how to clean sponsored videos. There you go. They'd have to tell me. Are you an airbrusher? Do you have an air compressor? Preferably California Air Tools? Do you not believe in maintenance like me? Well, when your air compressor quits working, here's how you fix it. Follow along. Get your toothbrush ready. Um, they had a sale on their 15-gallon. Next, we'll see airbrush cleaning videos. Uh, so I'll teach you how to clean your airbrush. Do you use this paint? Throw it in the trash. Then you won't have to worry about cleaning your stupid little Createx particles out of your little bitty nozzles. You're welcome. Power wash it, that would probably work. Maybe. Maybe. I can just put it out in the rain. It's raining here. Um, I forget how much this is. This one was decently expensive, not a ton, but it's been kind of bitchy. I will say it holds up to its name. It is kind of California-ish. Uh, Hell, it certainly would. Certainly would. So showing off things that you can do with their air compressor would be great content for them. Um, no airbrush company wants you. No, no, they don't. Let me show you how. Let me show you how to destroy your $200 airbrush in 1 week. drop it on the floor a few times, jam the nozzle in, put the needle in too far and stretch out the nozzle to where it's got cracks all in it, all that kind of fun stuff. Not spraying enough, just jam the nozzle in there and turn your 3 millimeter nozzle into a 5. Just open it up. Bobby Lane with a big day at Watts Bar. Did y'all read? Hella, you might have. Did you read the Bass Blaster talking about Bobby Lane working on his forward-facing sonar? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't really understand it. It kind of contradicted itself. His quotes, because it was like, I'm really trying to work on my forward-facing sonar going forward, and then it was like, I'm gonna go to Watts Bar and just do what I like to do. So you're not going to use your forward-facing sonar. You're just going to go fish Bobby Lane style. So I didn't really understand what he was getting at. Burns, I have. They're here. Not that one. It's this one. And this one. Yes. We have things. We have things from Burns. We have nectar. A box of nectar from Burns. SB1s. .5. Whatever this little beautiful thing is. I think Burns was just having fun with the carving knife. But it's a nice looking little specimen. I think you said these are for someone else, if I remember correctly. Do I show this off, Burns, or will it get ripped off before I can put it to work? What's up, Tim? Bob Stevens was asking a question that you could have probably answered. He was asking about some braid that he heard David Fritz hawking and wanted to know if anybody had tried it. It was like Duratough braid or something. No, it's not a balsa wattle bat. I do have that. Burns, do I show this? Clicking the prop. We'll set that aside. I have a tweak I asked Burns about, and I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. Oh, I do have something. Berkeley has entered the chat. Here's Burns's leather rat tail. This is the experiment. This is the experimental rat tail. So we'll go try the rat tail and see how that works. The leather. He's got it embedded in the bait. Looks pretty cool. It's forever. Rawhide chipmunk, pretty much. Beef jerky tail. Let's see how it swims. See if it's got enough jive to it. Should. Let's see. Should, South J, it should last indefinitely. I don't know. I don't know what the lifespan or what being wet a bunch does to leather. I'm sure it's not great, but for a fishing lure, I mean, it's not like a pair of boots, so I mean, I don't think it's gonna disintegrate. So we'll see. As far as I know, Fritz still uses the X5 reverse station when he's deep cranking. There you go. There you go, Bob. You don't need the old DuraTough coated braid. Just get you some X5. Burns sent me a few little spooks. Little baby spooks. Samplers. Try those out. See what those do. Might smell, ooh, like an actual stinky rat. I might like that. But you could scent it. Maybe I could put like a, maybe I could scent it in like black ice. Car air freshener juice. Expensive leathers like horse leather, shark leather, and bass leather. Oh, Burnsy. This one is probably Burns, if you're still listening. This is probably one of my favorite shapes you've built because it could be the perfect in-between size because it's big enough, but it's not too small. And my prediction is this bait is going to run like a scalded dog. It just feels right. It looks right. It's got everything about it is right. For my personal, like what I look for in a bait, this one has it. Like as soon as I picked it up, I was like, oh yeah, that thing's gonna run. And it feels right, like it's light. It's gonna do right. Little killer bee-ish thing. And then we have the Lexan versions to try. Great size is right. Nate, they are. And the 1.5s. They both are. These are protos that Burns was farting around with. Darius likes the Lexan. I have to do a Lexan run for all the rock crankers. Oh, I'm still trying to figure out how to get this screw out. Lefty, Lucy. These grounds out. Which ones are for you, Burns? Lexans. Tell me which ones are burns, and I'll put them. I'll put them aside. All right. That's free. That's free. All the wires are free. One thing's really holding me up. Have you ever ground one off, Darius? Like, have you ever ground a circuit board lip down to a 1- size? Well, maybe I have to do a Lexan run for all the rock dudes. I'm not picky about that, unless they're just for me. I'd like to see some. I'd like to see some of your war torn bills that have been filed down. I like the abused things of that nature. Um, you fish around rock too, South J, obviously. I didn't know we had so many rock crankers. Don't y'all know y'all supposed to throw this shit around wood? Get out of the damn rocks. Did you use that hook stalker? No, Brian, I didn't bring any terminal stuff. Agreed. Same with me, Tim. I never like. I don't know. We just don't have any rocks. Ever. Like I've cranked rocks, but not here. It's always if I like go out of town. Like there was lots of rocks up there on the Chesapeake to crank. Um, I didn't think Kentucky Lakes bottoms were that hard. Like when I was out there ledge fishing, like you get in those shell beds, but I didn't feel like the other parts were that hard. But I must have missed. Uh, I don't know. Maybe it is. I didn't know there was rock piles there. There's really rock like out in the middle of the lake, like deep or on points and stuff. Like literally, I had no clue. I thought it was just kind of muddy, not mud, but like clay, hard bottom. You always got to go day on the lake style to the dam and crank the riprap, just like you read in Bassmaster magazine. Isn't that right, AJ? Go to a new lake, go to the earthen dam, pull out your jerk baits and crank baits, and see what lives there. I like that, Tim. I like when a bait gets used to death, like when it's in need of repair. Where it's like I fished this bait so much that it no longer operates and it needs a transfusion, a lip transfusion. The guy I was with won our last derby on the dam, north of Paris. You know what, Darius? I've never been north of Paris. That that would explain it. Probably should have went up there. I actually did go a little ways north of Paris, not far though, like a mile maybe. And I found this really weird grass that was growing in like this much water on a ledge out there, and I caught a 5 pounder out of that grass. Um, but I never could find it anywhere else up there. It was weird. My river is along old steel mills. Ooh, David, this sounds like somewhere that eats fishing lures. Where there's all like you have like rebar and shit they drop, like all the barges drop shit in the water. And uh, some of the best cranks show more plastic than paint. Explain it. They just work. Some of them just work. And part of that is your mind knows it works. Like when you pull out a bait that's rash to death, there's no questioning whether it's going to get bit or if it's capable of getting bit. You know. Bugs has got lots of rock. Well, I'll be damned. Lexan for the rest of the year. After this run burns, we'll just do everything Lexan. That's when we have Kyle over here, Big Rocks. Come up like 4 feet below the surface. Find any walleye? No. Um, there were no. I wanted a snakehead, but no snakehead. Nothing out of the ordinary, just bass. One smallmouth, a little bitty teeny smallmouth. Uh, uh, not too much grass around here. Unfortunately, I like to crank some grass more than I do. Like the MS Slammer, the things to ship around that would beat the shit. Yeah, what happened to that thing, the traveling slammer? How would you like to be the asshole that lost it or stole it? Whatever happened. Uh, one of the root cranks looks like it's going through water. That's good. I like that. It does belong in a museum. The problem with it was it had so much wood showing, and people kept fishing it. Like at some point, it would become waterlogged and just like disintegrate. Uh, no, just a fishing trip. I did. I was Amy went out of town on Sunday, and I had the kids, and I was leaving on Tuesday, and I was rocking the bean, and she wanted me to tell her a birthday story. She wanted me to sing the birthday song to her on like Monday night or Sunday night. So I was singing "Happy Birthday to You," and it dawned on me. It's like, oh, I'm not going to be with my kids on my birthday, and I really felt like a piece of shit. So it's kind of like bittersweet. It's like, oh yeah, I'm leaving, but I won't get to spend it with my children, which was a bummer. But I had fun. Uh, my other favorite SU bait was the Mandingo. What happened to that thing? You don't see much out of the Mandingos anymore. South Jersey, don't get on here talking about overcomplicating colors, bro. Come on. Action and profile are certainly king. I think we can all agree on that. But action and profile aren't going to do shit for you if you don't know what you're doing anyway. So it's the same thing with like swim baits. Like if you don't know what you're doing with it, like a Piz is not going to help you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or a Hinkle or whatever it is. Like, none of that shit matters. I have seen. Speaking of swim baits, I have been seeing South Jersey. You probably see it on Universe. What is with the trend of guys selling entire collections of baits now? Like nobody sells a single bait anymore. Like it's like, oh, you can buy all 40 of these baits. It seems like so. I think one dude probably tried it and maybe sold a lot. Now everybody's like, oh, buy all my baits. Fish on the weirdest colors to completely natural. They got into it. They didn't catch shit and bet on the whole technique, pretty much. Chris, it's really, you're correct. It is a collection of baits, never been fished, and it's like, and you can tell because none of the baits are staple baits. You know what I mean? Like they're all like baits that have come out within the last 2 years. Like no depths 250s, no 316 stuff. No, none of the shit that's been around for like 10, 20 years, like none of that, like no slammers, no, like it's all like trendy baits of like the last year or two. And bought for a look at me post. I know I see it and I see all these like for sale posts. I'm like, dude, it was all just like I don't know. Kyle, been seeing it as well. Lots of people doing that in different swim bait groups. Yeah, it's just like here's my whole collection. Here's my whole collection. How did that get out? Hmm. Oh, sweet. How do I do that? See if that'll help me. Will that help at all? No. Hmm. How am I going to get this out? I need a screwdriver like this that's like this tall. Brian, yes, I've been I'm gonna have to like triple up on the Patreons because I was gone this week and I've got the kids tonight, so I can't do it tonight. So I guess I'm gonna have to move it to like weekends or something like that. I got to do something different because with me being sick and then Amy being gone, it's really dick that up. So um, buy bait next week. It's up for sale. It bothers me, and it's not like I don't know because I guess as a guy that like as a consumer, I look at myself and I buy stuff because I feel like it fits in some sort of situation that I think it would work in. You know what I mean? That's typically how I buy a what causes me to buy a fishing lure is that like I see a condition or a circumstance that I fish or that I see that is a bait that might fit into that's different. Um, and when you see guys just like pump and dump baits, it's like they're just, I don't know what they're doing. Like they're not, I don't feel like they're buying with the intent of like use. You know what I mean? Like, or figuring out like, oh, I could use this like here. Just like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this. Um, thought Amy finally got me with the railroad spike or whatever it is, the train piston. Um, exactly, Marty. It does make you feel good when you know people are using your shit. Thank you, Travis. Travis, I need to message you. You need to pick colors. Since you named the bait, choose the form of your destructor. I'm assuming some sort of bone. Um, Burns likes Friday and Saturday night. He's up late. Okay. Uh, it's usually either one, but it's kind of annoying because those are the same dudes cart jumping people. Yeah, I think that's the rub. South Jersey is there's people that um there's people that do fish and they do want to use the shit and they could like they're trying to put a bite together or they have a situation where they really want to try something and make it work and then they don't get that opportunity because some dickhead's got their bait hanging in his garage that he's going to be ready to sell. The other perk of that is that I guess if you're willing to wait it out, you can probably find it secondhand for cheaper. I guess I don't know. Oh, do I need to order something from Midway since it was my birthday, AJ? How long do I have? The whole month? Morning, before you and TK started collaborating, I only knew 2 or 3 people had a few of your older baits. They might sell one if they like you. Yeah, like a week. Oh, so I'm probably still in there. What do I need, AJ? What do I need from Midway? What should I use my? What is it? How much is my birthday discount? And what should I use it for? Good or evil? I don't want a damn Chad piece. I can assure you. I don't even want to paint it and sell it. $40 Chad shed. It's random. You need to just sort by percent discount. Midway, what do you have for me? What do you have for me that I would potentially need? Never fished a bass tournament. I don't know that I've got the fire in me to tournament fish right now as a boater. I think I'm too worn out and my fire has extinguished. Gamakatsu boxes. Ooh, I always love new boxes. That would be fun. I bought boxes and I don't even know what to put in them. I just have them. You want to see this? Nah, I better not show this. I'll leave that there. That's for another time. Um, but the thing about a crankbait is a average fisherman can take a crankbait out and get results within a reasonable amount of time. Swim baits, not so much. You know what I mean? And you got a lot of money involved in a swim bait, and if you're not seeing results, it's like, damn, I got this $200 piece of shit hanging off my rod that I can't get bit on, and it's not the bait typically. Um, I have very few. I have very few. I have a couple. I have a couple. I wish I do get some messages. Hey, how do you get those? You don't. That's typically my response. Hey, I'm looking for some of those. Where do I go about getting those? You don't. You don't. I mean, I could invite them to the camp, but I don't. You have to qualify. I don't think I've told you, but I got suckered by Thrash Baits. I've waited 2 years for two baits and finally got a reply from him and tried selling me stuff I didn't even want and never answered my question. I don't even know who Thrash Baits is. That's probably why you got suckered. Who is Thrash Baits? Thrash Baits. Japanese dude? They're usually pretty legit. I thought it was an American guy. What'd you buy? Camp counselor says not for you suckers. Exactly. Pre-qualification is watching a 4-hour stream. Yeah, like uh, I don't know, a little bit of interaction is nice. You know what I mean? Not just like, hey, give me those. No, doesn't work like that. Gimme, 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 gimme. I wanty, wanty, wanty. Mm. Uh, what did you? What bait did you get, South Jersey? Was it one of his lipped shad-looking baits? A rat? The shad-looking baits look nice. Later, AJ. Be careful going to Boji. Good luck with your new team partner. This doesn't look as sexy as I thought. Now that I get a close up of one. I wanted his rat and trigger crank down. He just ignored my messages for a bit and just wanted to update on the baits. I got put on a list for it, and he just started offering me other baits. He started offering you other baits that he already had made, so he didn't have to carve something from scratch. Can't say that I blame him there, but he should have never taken you on the list if there was no point, like if there was no interest in fulfilling it. Oh, you want a Burns SB1? Okay. How about this one? Oh yeah, look at me. Those are triple dotted eyes. I did those when I was sick. You can tell I was sick because I triple dotted them. I have lost my effing mind. That's how under the weather I was. Triple dot. Am I going to do a gimmick bait? Gimmick? Brian. Novelty. No, I really haven't thought about it. Because I keep thinking about like the Patreon thing has really been wearing on me. Like when I'm going to do those, and how I'm going to set it up. So I haven't really thought about much else. Uh, I don't know. I haven't thought of a good gimmick novel idea yet for the holidays. I did have one last year. That I considered. Um, I don't want to give it away. I want to do it again. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I don't want it to get ripped off. And it's not. It would be badass um, if I can make it work. Uh, Durability would be questionable, but we'll see. Uh, oh no, Chris, I would never do such a thing. Candy corn is the lowest common denominator of Halloween and holiday candy that has ever been made. It is only slightly better than a peep, maybe worse. I can't decide on which is the worst holiday candy, a peep or candy corn. It's a tight race. Or a Cadbury egg with the yolk is vile. Um, no, and I've seen a lot of other people do candy corn. Um, do I like pumpkins or candy corn better? I would probably eat raw pumpkin before I ate. I would probably take a handful of pumpkin innards and eat them before I ate candy corn. Now, the Cadbury mini eggs are a different story. Those are delightful. The little mini ones, those are good. John Pryor, how are you? I had the crud, and I'm finally back. Peeps, candy corn, and Cadbury eggs, all vile. Uh, the little pumpkin candy corn, oh, they're all gross. None of them qualify. If it tastes like candy corn, uh, they're the best. No way, dude. No way. Trying to think other. I don't like licorice like Twizzlers. Ugh. Uh, yeah, I'm all right. I'm back. Reese's eggs, Christmas trees. Sounds like my nose has been chopped off. Yeah, pretty much. Uh, I'm still a little congested. I probably caught something on the damn airplane, so I'll be out another 2 weeks. Knock on wood. Hopefully not. Uh, that would have been a smart choice, South Jersey, but that wouldn't have been a very South Jersey purchase of you. Oh, you changed your name. South Jersey Bait Reviews. When did that happen? Have I been gone so long you're a new person? You're a new entity? What the hell, dude? I come back. South Jersey's a different man. Ooh, John's got stuff ready to send. That's exciting. I was down for a couple weeks. Wake up from my crud, and Pryor's got goodies to send. Smarties are like eating chalk, correct. I did used to like to puff on a candy cigarette back in the day. Um, uh, what was that? What was the one? I forget what they're called, but they had like a white stick, and you dunked it in the powder. Was it Fun Dip or something like that? The powder always tasted like shit, and you just ate the white stick. Fun Dip. Fun Dip was awesome, minus the dip. The stick was where it was at. Eat the stick, snort the powder. Fun Dip. Kids still eat it. There you go. And the ring pops were very delicious for actual like candy suckers. They had a good flavor. Shit was sour as hell. Yeah, I didn't. Pixie sticks. Yes, I certainly do remember pixie sticks. I mean, I guess it was just like a little sleeve of straight flavored sugar, and you just lick it up, and the little cardboard paper would get all like waterlogged from your nasty little juvenile spit. Um, I never liked any of the powder stuff. Uh, Bit of honeys back in the day were pretty good. My favorite was those little brown and white things. They were like peanut butter bars, but they were uh, I don't know what they were actually ever called, but they looked like little zebras kind of without the like they were just like brown and white striped little square rectangular pieces of candy. Um, Log candy, yeah, kinda. I think that's what they were called. Peanut butter logs. Uh, Candy necklaces, yeah, those were good. Yeah, what I didn't understand because I would always eat them like at once. I didn't realize people would wear them actually longer than like 10 minutes. Like they would wear them for days and like nibble on them. When I found that out, I was like, "That's disgusting, dude." You got that like neck sweat on your candy, and you're like, they were crunchy. Swedish fish, yes, I still get Swedish fish on holidays because they were still one of my favorites. They're delicious. And some other weird. Oh, so my dad and his friends back when I was younger, they used to go to Sam's and they would get atomic fireballs in bulk. And I never understood it, but it was like back in the day when you're like 8, it was like doing the like hot Dorito challenge, but for 8-year-olds. Where you'd be like, I'm ready, give me a fireball. And they'd hand you one and you put it in your mouth back. And it was like eating them now. They're hot, but they're not that bad. Um, but we used to like sneak in there and get atomic fireballs like we were like badasses. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this atomic fireball in my mouth and I'm not gonna take it out. Watch me. Like, no, dude, you can't do it. I'm like, yeah, I can. I've been practicing. Atomic fireballs, uh, and warheads. Grandmother kept fireballs in her apron pocket. There you go. My grandmother had lemon drops in her house. She had a little jar and she kept lemon drops in there, and I'd stick like 10 of them in my mouth. And she's like, no, that's not going to work. I can do two at a time, but you got two sticking out of your jaws and you're just going, and then you finally remove them, and the like the inside of your cheeks feel like you just dipped like 10 cans of Copenhagen snuff. Looks like raw. You know when you hit old person's house on Halloween when they give you one peppermint or two or three of them black and orange wrapper candies. Oh yeah, that they've been sitting on for 25 years. Uh, Tyler, you're probably right. The Fireball candy is probably what hooked us on Fireball whiskey. Uh, the There was this one old dickhead in our neighborhood, and I think he was a dentist, so he had money, and you'd always go knock on his house, and he would give you like random change. He'd drop like you'd be like trick or treat, and he'd like pull out this little like cup and give you like 3 pennies. And you'd like looking at it and be like, what is this shit? Where's the candy, bro? He'd be like, trick or treat. Or like whatever. He wouldn't even say happy Halloween. Like he was this old dick. And he was awful. But he would always give out change. Like he would just pull out his change jar and give you change. Like if you got like a dime from this dude, you'd be like, oh shit, dude. He gave me the good stuff. He gave me 10 cents. 2 for a penny. Not a bad deal. Fireball isn't even whiskey. How about that? The chalky spicy candy. I don't know. I try to stay away from the chalk type candy. The fun dip stick was about the limit for me. One thing I used to strangely like when I was a kid, when I would go to my grandmother's house in Mississippi, she would occasionally have circus peanuts. And I think the only reason they had those is because they fed them to their Chihuahua. That was like the Chihuahua snack, was those orange circus peanuts. And I would go in there and be like, I'm gonna get one of these. They were pretty gross, but for whatever reason, it's like, I'll eat these. I've been building some baits and eating myself, but it seems like I do more brainstorming than tinkering than actually building. Yeah, Tim, I think you have to just kind of know your limitations with that. Most disgusting thing ever made. What, a circus peanut? Worse than a peep? Worse than a candy corn? All right, I gotta go home. Circus peanuts ain't that bad, says the guy that eats bananas and cheese. They didn't have a shelf life. Snowballs, yeah. We were in the grocery store a couple weeks back, and Bean looked at they had these bags of cotton candy, and she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, nothing." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "You like clean your house with it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "It's like a scrub brush." And she's like, "Oh," like, "You don't need it." Wrong answers only. All right, yeah, I gotta go because I gotta go by the bank, pay for school, and Chris, I did paint. I did paint last week because I had a guy that um, I had 20. He sent me 20 baits. He ordered them from Tackle Warehouse and was like, "I have a tournament on the 16th. Can you get these to me by then?" Like, yeah. So I went in there and painted a little bit. Um, I painted some shads named after that guy. Had a couple of those I needed to get out, some blade baits. I will share with y'all. While I was down, I had to do something. So I had a new sticker patch t-shirt design done, and I think you're going to like it. I hope you do. I do. So that was my productivity while I was down. Uh, I guess I need to do a color separation on that and print me up a t-shirt and see how it comes out. I think that one, Nasty Nate, that one might work on a performance shirt. We'll see. We'll see. I messaged a dude back and I was like, can you take my logo and do something in that style so I can put it on the pocket of the shirt and do something on the front or back? I was just gonna do it on the front. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up. It'll take some tinkering to see what I like, whether it's gonna be a front design or a back design. Both. Who knows? But anywho. All right. I'm gonna roll out of here. There's so much stuff I've missed out on. We haven't talked about all the live scope shenanigans. Uh, make it more evil looking. Uh, Kyle, I did have a. I probably still have time to do a Halloween design. I can put that one on the back burner. Um, but I still think I have time that I could do a Halloween design if I can think of something. I have to go through my phone notes. That's where I keep my creative thoughts on designs, and I think I've got a Halloween one in there. Um, but I would like to have a pumpkin related one, like a jack o' lantern, or I was going to do a devil, something. Don't you do it, Tim? Don't you do it, Tim? Uh, Thank you for all the birthday messages and everybody that reached out to make sure I was still uh, alive. I'm here. I'm well. Still kicking. Got balsa to move. Got camper talks to have. Uh, jack o' lantern. I like jack o' lanterns. My mom collects old like Halloween stuff from like the early 1900s. So growing up, I have like I guess I have that all that kind of stuff stuck in my head, and she was real big into Halloween. So I have a cornucopia of old like Halloween stuff that like sticks out to me that I like. Um, but I'll think about that tonight. Maybe I'll brainstorm tonight. I'll be home with the kids, and if they actually go to bed, I'll be able to sit down and think. So we'll see. All right, later, dudes.